Hello everyone. It's Thursday, January 9th, about 6:30 in the morning. Of course, I've been sitting here for about an hour trying to figure out how I want to do this video, what I want to say, what not to say, blah blah blah. So I finally just said screw it and pushed record. So here we go. This is just gonna kind of be a stream of consciousness trying to explain the point of this video. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope the year is treating you well thus far. I've wanted to make this video for a little while, but there have been a couple of situations that have transpired over the course of the last few months that I feel kind of affected the community as a whole. So I wanted to give those situations time to kind of finish their course and for the community to hopefully relax a little and kind of recuperate from those occurrences. I'm sure some of you may remember not too long ago me posting in several of the trans groups on Facebook about wanting to collect coming out stories. I was initially collecting the stories under my pen name, Magnus Ethos, because I'm shy, and sometimes it's really hard for me to put myself out there. I don't like a lot of attention. I just don't do well getting a lot of attention. I don't like being the center of attention, not to say that any of this would make me the center of attention, but bottom line is I'm shy, and I was hesitant for everyone in the whole wide world to know that it was actually me undertaking this project. But all of you being the savvy individuals that you are, of course you wanted to know who, why, when, what, where, and I understand that, and it was never my intention to appear shady, for lack of a better word. It just goes back to me being shy. So I'm putting that aside and coming out, so to speak. So I am the perpetrator of this project. So with that having been said, I'll kind of go into a little explanation of what it is that I'd like to do. There is a wonderful author, playwright by the name of Eve Ensler, and she wrote a particular show. I'm not going to say the first word in the title because it can be triggering for people in our community, but the second word is monologues, and what she did is she spent a few years interviewing folks and taking the stories that she got from them and compiling them into these amazing monologues, and they're all focused on the particular word in the title, and they're just absolutely amazing stories and actual experiences of other humans. And the show, for me, did a couple of different things. Number one, it was very educational, and it brought some really, really important issues to light. And it's a great show. I've actually had the honor of being in it twice prior to coming out as trans. And what you have to do if you produce this show is basically you enter into an agreement that a large part, if not all of the proceeds from the production have to be donated to a local organization that kind of focuses on women care, domestic violence, stuff like that. So it's educational, it's entertaining, and it raises money for really, really good causes. So that's kind of where I gleaned the idea for what I want to do from. She's kind of my inspiration for this idea. So what I would like to do is pretty much the same thing that Miss Ensler did, and collect trans people's coming out stories. Of course, I want to get stories from every facet of the trans community. I want all of us to be represented in this. I imagine it's going to take at least 2 years, if not more, for me to get all of the content that I feel is necessary to represent our community as a whole adequately. And what I would like for everyone to do is to email me a brief synopsis of your coming out, whatever that means for you, whether it was coming out to yourself, coming out to your cat, your dog, your parents, your friends and family, just whatever that means for you. Just email me a brief synopsis of that, or if you want to make it incredibly long, that's fine too. Just whatever you're comfortable with. And then once I've gotten those, then I'll go through, of course, and read them, and then contact you, because I would like to schedule a Skype interview with as many people as possible. Some people may not have the capability to Skype, so if nothing else, at least a phone interview / conversation where you kind of tell me again your coming out story, because I really want to know what your emotions are as you share this information with me, because I want as much of that as possible to translate into the writing of the show. Once I have all of that information, then what I'll do is go through everything, all the stories that I have, and kind of compile them into a monologue, so there will actually be several different coming out stories in one monologue. And I want to do it that way because, again, I want as many facets of the community as possible to be represented, and that way it's not, I don't know how to explain it, it's not your super private business, like, just all out there. If each monologue is kind of a compilation or a hybrid of several different stories, then hopefully it won't feel like you're putting yourself out there as much as if it was just entirely your story. I don't know if that made any sense, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so once I have all of that, and I've spoken with everyone, then of course I'll endeavor to actually write the show. I'd like for it to be at least an hour long. It may have to be longer, we'll see. It just depends on how much participation and response I get. And then, once the show is written, I would, of course, like to have an opening that I will, of course, direct here in Texas, probably in Austin, more than likely, because that's, at least in my area, that's a really large trans community, and that particular city is very LGBT friendly. And what I'd like to do is take the proceeds from that first show and put it into a trans scholarship fund, where, anybody that identifies under the trans umbrella can submit an application to be a recipient of said scholarship. Please bear in mind, this is all very much in the developmental stage. I don't have any concrete ideas on where the funds that are made from this show will go, but it will definitely be going back into the trans community. That's the whole point of it. I am always kind of left in a state of awe, because there are so many instances where our community really comes together and does great things to help each other out. An example, Alex Haney's calendar project. That's absolutely amazing. It's a huge collaborative effort, and it's benefited a lot of folks, and I just think it's absolutely amazing. And that's kind of what I'm hoping will happen with this project. I just want to do something to give back at the risk of sounding trite. There's just so many of us out there that are in need, and that's why I came up with this project, and why I want to soldier through and bring it to fruition, even being the shy, reclusive guy that I am. Yeah, so after the initial show, I would like to then open it up to be put on anywhere in the world. But of course, if you're going to produce this show, then you have to enter into a contract that the proceeds will then be donated to a local charity or organization that deals with the transgender community. Or, if you want to put it into a scholar, that's the stuff that I'll peg down later. But that's kind of just a real general explanation of what I'd like to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. Of course, if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to message me here on YouTube, on Facebook. I'm going to put the email address in the description below, and you can email me there. Please feel free to email me your coming out stories, to email me any questions you have, any concerns you have. I want everything to be very transparent, and I want everyone to know that I'm available to interact with you and to be there for you. I'm not really good at making these videos, but I hope that kind of explained things and gives you an idea of why I'm asking you to share your coming out stories with me. And everyone that participates, I will be including, if you like, your names as a big huge thank you in the programs when we put the show on. If that is not something that you would like, then just kind of let me know that. If you email me, just let me know that you don't want your name mentioned. Again, this is very much in the very early developmental stages, so things are subject to change. I will keep everyone updated. I look forward to talking with all of you, and I look forward to hearing your stories and sharing in your experiences with you. I hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.